Ladies and gentlemen, all right. Welcome to the Local BizCast. As most of you know by now, I am Dr. Pete. I'm here with an amazing little entrepreneur over here, my friend. You've got a lot of action going on. Billy Ash hanging out with me this morning.
It's a pleasure, Dr. Pete. Thanks
Welcome,
so much for
buddy.
having me, man.
Welcome. As always, I got to give you the biz, man. If you guys are enjoying the Local BizCast, you're having fun with this, you want to bring on more guests, you have any ideas, please go YouTube Live, Spotify, Apple, anywhere you can find the podcast. Go on, like, subscribe, say hi. Also, if you're interested in getting on the podcast, come and get me, man, at the Local BizCast, at Dr. Pete, Spine and Health Center, wherever you want to find me. We're always looking for guests. We're booking out through the end of the year at this point now, so come on for the Local BizCast. But the business of that is over now. I get to again introduce Mr. Billy Ash over here from Today's Business, a full-service digital agency. I'm beginning to learn a little bit more and more about these agencies and stuff like that, man.
I would note that you probably know a little bit about
Yeah,
it.
a little bit, man, but we could definitely do better, man. And it's just not just a digital agency. You've got a sports agency. You've got some entrepreneurial stuff. Dude, tell me a little bit about it. Go ahead, man. Bring the mic up a little bit closer.
Yeah, sure. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So my name's Billy Ash. Started Today's Business about 14 years ago out of the basement. A true starter story. Started with $400.
I'm looking at you. I'm
out
like,
of the
Bezos,
basement.
there you are. Do you have any film of you packing shoes in your basement from like 1995?
Well, it wasn't 1995. I'm not that old, but no, it was 2011, and it was in the beginning of social media. You know, I like to say that I was blessed with growing up with the internet. You know, to the point of 1995, I was 7 years old, and AOL hit me with my first CD in my mail. And I got my first gateway computer, and I was on the internet, and I haven't stopped since.
You threw the gateway out. I haven't had a single guest throw gateway out here, man. There we
come on.
go.
If you didn't know about a gateway, you're
The
too
gateway
young.
was the man, man. Come on.
But yes, so... You know, it started honestly back then. It started trying to talk to people on AOL. Then it went to AIM and designing my AOL profiles with hex codes and different things like that.
You already knew to get back into the back end, man, huh?
Then it went to MySpace, and my favorite top six when I was in high school to when I was in college, Facebook came out. And, when I graduated college in 2011, social media is almost how I equate TikTok now. People didn't know, should I invest in it? Is this going to last? Are people going to stay there? So I started kind of just almost by product demand with my business partner doing social media. People just kept asking us, can you do our social media? Would you be interested in doing our social media? So yeah, long story short, kind of grew up with the internet. As the internet grew up, as social media grew up, so did I. Got out of college. Really failed at selling life insurance and health insurance.
There we go. We had a small conversation about the Series 6. Not your thing?
No, yeah, not my cup of tea, but jumped into social media and haven't looked back. So yeah, a little bit about
amazing,
my background
man.
Story. And
It's just another language, man. You learned another language, right? Because I can tell you this, I don't know that language at all. At all. Yeah. And I don't think it's because I'm old. I think I probably resisted it for a while, and then it got past me, that type of thing. But I mean, just talking to you for the couple of minutes beforehand, man, you got it. You just understand the language.
Yeah. I think ultimately it was about just continuing to evolve, continuing to grow. I mean, this year alone has pushed us to continue to grow more than ever. Video's obviously more prevalent than ever. You had governments getting involved in social media more than ever. So just making sure that you're on your toes and you understand what goes in. Also being flexible.
Yeah.
I think that was one of the big things that kind of got us to be successful where we are today, is just being flexible. When I say flexible, we also failed at a lot of things. Clients come in, can you do this? We would try to do it.
We're like, hell yeah, we could do it. Well, fake it till you make it type of stuff, right?
That was one of my favorite mottos.
But again, you've learned, so it's not a failure, right? You just moved it as a stepping stone to move into what you're doing right now.
Yeah, no, and honestly, now it's my pitch. Now I sign clients and I'm like, listen, I have basically made every single mistake you can make in digital advertising. I learned what not to do. You're going to pay me now to not make those mistakes on your campaign. If not, you'll make those mistakes.
Yeah.
I've already learned how not to make those mistakes, how not to waste money, how not to get robbed by an influencer, whatever it may be. And yeah, those are some of our core values here at Today's Business.
Look at this, man. Got the core values down. You're a true entrepreneur over here, man.
I'm trying.
When did it start? Did you knew like when you were a kid, like I'm going into entrepreneurship, or
No, not at all. Like I said, graduated in 2011 and was in Florida trying to sell life insurance, working the 9 to 5 every day. Got out of work at 5 o'clock and then would log on Facebook and try to talk to girls. And
I mean, how does that not always start that way? Of course.
That's just what
no offense to any of the wives out there.
And my wife, I love you.
Yes, of course.
But in 2011, that's what I did.
Yeah.
And I say that because my best friend at the time would say, dude, you should just work for Facebook. You love Facebook. You are on this thing all day. You hate your job. You love Facebook. Figure out a way to work for Facebook.
Was that even a possibility? Did a light bulb?
No, not at all.
Okay,
not at all. Seriously, even at that point, I was like, no. How do I do that?
Right.
So then, honestly, it was my business partner who started a networking company originally. Today's Business was a networking company. And he had called me, and basically he had said,
when you say networking, you mean like Cat5 cable networking, or you mean like business networking?
Business
Got
networking.
it. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right.
Good
No, I'm going to tell
clarification
you no, because
Old school
I don't know
social
any.
media.
Hey,
You know that
Yes.
and honestly, the goal of originally Today's Business was to run almost like a meetup.com where we would run these local networking events. And he was an ex-NFL player. He had a lot of connections. His dad had a business in Livingston that had been around for 40 years, a restaurant and pizzeria.
Uh-huh.
So he had a lot of affluent connections. And he came to me and he was like, hey, I'm having all these people, come to my networking event. And I was like, well, how are you getting them? And he was like, well, I'm calling them all. And I was like, dude, you should get a website, get an email list, have them sign up on your website. I was like, I can do all of that for you. And
around what year is this?
This was right out of college, 2011.
Got it.
Right when we
And this
started.
business part of your friends of yours growing up, or like you guys?
So at the time, it's actually an ex-business partner, but it was a high school friend of mine. And he was saying how he was running all of these networking events, so on and so forth. And long story short, kind of came in and was like, hey, dude, you got to get a website. Get your emails. I'll get people to sign up. We'll get an email marketing list going. I had done this throughout college. I was like building WordPress websites on the side for beer money and those types of things.
Yeah.
Put myself out on like, Fiverrs back then and those types of websites to just do odd jobs, right? And any types of digital job, any websites.
I still use Fiverr to this day, man.
Oh, it's a great one. So I would just pick up these little odd jobs. So I was like, I can build you a WordPress website, get people to sign up. And this guy thought I was Mark Zuckerberg. He was like, wait, you can build a website? He was like, you know how to code it? And I was like, yeah, I do. I don't know how to code. Never knew how to code. Still fake it till you make it. Knew how to put together a WordPress plugin or a website with a decent amount of plugins and a visual builder at the back. And
make it look pretty. Yep.
So that he looked at it and was like, wow, this is unbelievable. So long story short, ran the networking event. Had about 140 people show up.
Whoa! Back in 2011-12, that's pretty insane, man.
Really, really successful, but we ended up losing money. But while we were there, everybody kept asking, hey, who built your website? Who did your social media?
Boom.
Who's doing your email marketing? And they
that was the more important thing.
Bill. And Tom just kept saying, so the one day we're trying to build this next networking event, and my business partner's dad came down and he was like, if you guys ever want to get out of my basement, you should probably just let Bill do digital advertising for people. Like, they keep asking you to do it.
Right.
Like, they're really
and you're like, no, we want to do the networking.
we want to do the networking. We're going to do the networking. He's like, that's fine. You can try to do that. But if you ever want to get out of here and I'd like you to get out of here. Like, try to make some money when somebody offers it to you. It doesn't come easy. And
hey guys, I think you just heard the biggest piece of advice ever in the history of entrepreneurship. If somebody's offering you money to do the job, take the money to do the job. Especially if, like, you're freaking good at it.
Yeah, it was more of like a no, we don't. We're almost like we were too good to do it, and we weren't too good to do anything at that point. We're living off of our.
I would have been shoveling mulch. What are you talking about? I still needed beer money, man. You just graduated college. You're still a college student when you graduate college. You're whatever.
I was. So it was.
And that's how it was born, man.
And that's kind of how it was born. And then, we started as the social media guys. Like I said, it was 2011. So if you think about 2011 in the social media realm, there was no Instagram. It was Facebook and TikTok.
Yeah.
Or TikTok. Sorry. Facebook and Twitter.
Twitter was even born then. When was Twitter came out?
Twitter was probably around 2008, 2009 came around. Facebook was more of the, it originally came out like I think 2005 with the Facebook, with like the college only version.
Right.
But when I had gotten out, I say that in a lot of digital advertising agencies and marketing agencies didn't have a social media wing.
Right.
So not only were we getting small businesses that came to us, we were getting agencies that came to us and said, hey, can we white label you?
Yeah.
Can Billy be our social media guy?
Right.
So for the first 2 years of the business, I had 4 different business cards. I was Cerami Worldwide. I was this. I was.
Yeah, everybody white labeled just your stuff, yeah.
And I would just go in and I'd have my business card. I was Billy Ash. And they would sub us out all of the work. And I would just be the social media guy. But that was our niche, but it also got us in. I mean, within the first year of business, I was doing Optimum and Cablevision social media.
Yeah. Big companies. Your first year out, you're doing.
But it was all throughout the white label, right?
Yes, of course. They still said Optimum, but it was of course.
It was the other digital agency that had gotten that deal. We just got in, but it gave us the exposure and gave me personally the exposure.
And it also built your skills and everything like that. Of course. Yeah.
You get in and working with a Fortune,
yeah, whatever.
These people own Madison Square Garden.
Right.
You're talking about some high network individuals in big conference rooms. So for 22-year-old walking in there, and still to this day, it was the biggest conference room I've ever walked in.
There you go.
And making the pitch and saying why you should be investing in social media.
Yeah.
But at that point, it wasn't even saying, let me take over your social media. I built their social media platforms. They hadn't had one. And then 3 months later, we had Sandy, and they realized real quickly the power of Twitter and the fact that all of those phone lines that were down, and the fact that people,
we're getting all their information on
Twitter, because that was the only thing that we could do.
Wow.
So that's where social media response came in, and we just kind of continued to evolve the service.
For a business person like me, right? And we don't even understand the language. I keep on saying that. Like you say, okay, you're building your social media platform. What does that mean to somebody like me, right?
Like literally, I built.
You created the page. You put the content on there. You put the pictures on there. You put the
profile picture. You name the URL, facebook.com/Optimum. Twitter.com/Optimum. These things weren't even made yet.
Yeah.
So when I say created it, like they're Lightpath, and they were actually going through a rebrand at that point. So like we were part of that and had to then change all of those things. But like I said, it was a huge learning experience, kind of being able to get on pitches of that size and work on clients of that size maybe we were doing $10,000 a year.
Right.
Like
$10,000 a year may have gotten you out of that freaking basement. Let me tell you, your friend's father, your business partner's father might have had the advice. Right, sure. I mean, that's where it starts. You were 2, 3 years old.
Oh yeah, I was 23.
Yeah,
First paycheck was $100 from today's business.
Come on, man.
And that was just so that I didn't use the company credit card.
Yeah.
I said, you're going to live off of this. You live at home, here's $100.
Right.
Figure out how to live with it.
Man, I mean, this is the true entrepreneur. I love this. I think the audience loves these stories right here. Of course, they want to know what you're doing right now. That's important. But kind of learning where Billy came from, how this all came from. I'm telling you, you just said something, and there's a kid out there right now be like, wait, I could do that? Like, are you kidding me? I could start this in college, beer money, and then boom.
I say And if I had any advice, and sorry to interrupt you, but we have a lot of internships at today's business, and I talk to a lot of college kids, and I equate what I had with social media to what they have with AI.
Yep, yep.
You know, the thing with social media was when I got out of college at 22, I didn't have any experience. Nobody one else did.
Nobody did.
No one else. These college kids, when you're 10 years from now, no one else will have more experience in ChatGPT than you will.
Right.
No one.
Right.
No one in the experience. If you picked it up the day it started, like I did, Twitter and social media, you'll
be a pro.
You'll be a pro.
You'll know. Just the menu bar. Right on Facebook, when you talk about the menu bar, right? There was 3 things in there. Now there's 515 things. Do you think Facebook knew what it was going to be today, back when Zuckerberg did? No freaking way.
No, I don't think Facebook knows what it's going to be tomorrow sometimes. Right. The way that it works.
Right. But you grew with it. So when I go to the menu bar right now, I'm overwhelmed. I got to find somebody like you. You were like, I know everything. Because you just grew with it.
Yeah. So just a tidbit out there for anybody who is listening in regards to, young entrepreneur, those types of things. And I'm not saying everybody to start an AI company, but how to utilize AI in your daily basis, how you are utilizing it. If you started 2 years ago, no one has more experience than you do. Because it wasn't around 3 years ago, guys. Like that, and that's kind of the point of the matter of you have that opportunity to be the expert, and I had the opportunity and seized on it of being the expert in social media at 22.
Are you pivoting into AI as well now? You have to.
If you're not utilizing AI nowadays, you're not working smart enough in my eyes.
Yeah.
You should be. I'm not saying everybody needs an AI company and to be the AI technology and those things, but if you aren't using it for data manipulation, I use it way too much.
It's
my new Google.
I got a chiropractic. That's what I do. It's Google. But my chiropractic, physical therapy, occupational therapy. I'm using it every single day. Every email, I'm just getting support on my emails. When I'm putting out the social, I'm using AI for the social stuff like that. My calendars, my this, my that. Hey, what's best? How much AI is learning every single day is insane.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. I was on my Gmail thread the other day, and it's a thread of 1,000, and Gemini, I click 1 star, and it goes, summarize this email thread for me. And how am I using it? That saved me 30 minutes of reading an email thread I didn't feel like 100%. Doing.
What am I using? What's the add-on that you could use for YouTube videos? Where just whatever that one is, whatever.
CapCut.
Not CapCut, but it was that one. My son's using that one, but but it's like it'll take the video. I don't have to watch the video. It watches the video. This is what I can't understand, right? If a human is watching a video, let's just say this 30-minute podcast that we're going to do, we got to watch the whole 30-minute podcast, and then we can summarize it. It sees the whole thing in a split second. It looks at the whole thing, summarizes the whole thing. It takes a millisecond.
Unbelievable.
I don't understand how this world works, man. You're I don't even know if you do understand it or not, but you get a lot more than I do. That's for sure. So
I think we're all just trying to, or at least I can speak for myself. I'm just trying to embrace it. Yeah. Like I have everything that's been thrown at us. The industry, when you get into digital advertising, get ready for it to change. It good or bad, it's going to change.
You said it already, man. Your flexibility is probably your biggest asset.
Yeah, if we didn't have it, we'd never be here.
Amazing, man. What a freaking story. So, you're sitting in the basement in 2011. Yeah, it was you, your partner, and was there another person in here? It looks like it was one other person, whatever like that. And here we are now, 2025. What is today's business today?
Today's business, we like to say that we are your perfect digital marketing company. We have been in the agency world and been doing digital advertising now for going on 14 years or so. We've worked with almost every industry.
You got some pretty cool clients out here, my friend. Let me tell you.
Yeah, we've worked on some pretty cool accounts, from professional MBA teams to some of the largest healthcare practices in the world, some of the coolest e-commerce brands in the world. So I say all of that today's business is looking, and we look to be in addition to our clients' teams. We look for an area where we can succeed. There's been opportunities when I had mentioned we would say yes to everything.
Yeah.
You need to say yes to everything. Whether good or bad, I needed to make payroll. Now we're in more of an opportunity where we're taking on the right clients looking to grow with them, where we're looking to grow solid relationships with our clients to the point where some of those relationships have spawned up into other business ventures of us working together as business partners together. In other cases, it has been, we want my son or daughter to work for you because we love your company and your culture, those things. So I think that's kind of where today's business is. We are full service. When I say that, we do everything from affiliate marketing and digital PR to social media production, SEO, all of your Google ads, website, graphic design. Everything is in-house. We have a full staff team. We are still running a strong internship program. It is still a core foundation of how we hire is through that internship program. We value those interns and the value that we provide those interns. We treat our interns legally, but like employees. They track times, they use project management systems, they learn what it's like to actually be a true employee of a company, to be a professional. Whether or not you're going to take social media or you want to do social media in 30 years is not what you need to decide when you're 19, 25, or 22 years old or 20 years old in an internship. What you need to learn is how to be a professional, how to show up every day, how to be accountable, how to,
So that when you sit in a large conference room when you're 22 years old and you're like, what am I freaking doing here? You just man up and you get it done. Or woman up. Sorry, guys. But
so, those are, that's kind of where we're at now. With that being said, we're continuing to evolve, continuing to expand on where social media and digital advertising has taken us. The word influencer in the last 5 years of this has changed.
Yeah.
Webster literally should start changing
the definition
of what that means and how people are regarding influencers and how they utilize influencers. And we have companies that are utilizing influencers now just instead of production shoots. They're saying, hey, we're going to pay our influencers to do the big production shoots. Now, you guys create the content. Well, rather than doing the $30,000 a day shoot, we're just going to spend, $30,000 and have 10 different influencers create UGC content. So the ways that people are leveraging influencers and those types of things. But yeah, that's kind of where today's business is.
Amazing, man. I'm intrigued by the influencer stuff because it's like, the Kardashian, right? Let's just say you're a product company. You have whatever product, widget, right? And you can pay Kim, even if it's a $500,000, which you think is outside. But if Kim mentions your widget one time, you have 50 million customers. Like, it's just that easy.
Kim Kardashian's first influencer marketing campaign ever.
See? How would you not have said that already, dude? We're 20-something minutes into this. You're just putting that out now. With this whole entire podcast could have been 30 seconds long. I ran Kim Kardashian's first,
it was true.
It's over. That's all you have to say.
It was a hairbrush that most of the ladies will know called the wet brush.
Do you guys know the wet brush? Everybody know the wet brush out there? I'm sure you do. Go ahead.
Kim crashed their website.
Yes.
This was in 2013.
All right.
The post was up for a week. She posted 3 hours later. Our team did response for the wet brush, so we were up responding to every single comment. But she crashed the website, and at that point, I can tell you that it only cost low six figures.
Low six, 100,000, 200,000, doesn't matter. How much did they make in that 1 week? Right
10
there.
times.
10x.
And that was just
who's not taking that? What business?
And honestly, if the website didn't crash,
it could have been
20 more.
It could have been 20x, right?
They have retail with all of the Walmarts, targets, etc. So
And that's again, you're parlaying that now into okay. So now you got the credibility. Now you had the sales. Now you can go put it into Walmart. All that kind of stuff. And Walmart has its own, things
But
that they
that
have to
was
deal with.
before the word influencer was
Absolutely.
there. That was, we're going to do a deal with the E people. That's where the Kardashians were. It was all about the E channel. It was because it was on the show, and then Kim was going to make a post on it.
Yes.
And that was the deal.
That was
the
it.
real deal was that it was going to be on the show.
Right.
And then when we realized what happened, it was like, oh no.
Who's
this
next?
Instagram thing
Yes.
is what popped.
All right. So who was next?
the
I need to
show.
know who was next. Okay, you're like, okay, man, we just killed it with Kim. Who is the next person? I mean, I know Kardashians were like.
So Kardashian obviously would be the biggest, but then it actually stemmed into the athletes.
I would figure. If I had to guess, I had to put all my money on it. Would have said it's going to be an athlete.
It went
next.
into the athletes, and the athletes was actually hand in hand because we had already somewhat been doing, again, influencers. We've been running the golf outing, the David Deal golf outing, since we started today's business with Barnabas.
Yeah.
Is that not an influencer? David Deal, that would now be an influencer contract and an influencer deal.
Yeah.
Because David Deal's, but back then it was the NFL's. So we started actually doing it with concussion centers and a lot of healthcare and their athletes. And it was because the hospital systems always use the athletes.
Sure.
If you've looked at from the 90s on,
100%.
look at any medical, half of them were
I look
medical.
at healthcare and I look at cars. Always used athletes.
Always.
Right? All auto sales and never like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we just went right there, and that was because we had the athletes.
Yeah.
Right? Like Kim, we ran the social media. We didn't broker the deal. We just, for all transparency, I did not, like I said, that went through the E channel because it was originally to get the show or the brush
Get it on the show. Yeah.
But the athletes, because of my business partner's background, we knew we had them.
Got it.
We had the ins. We had.
And as long as you weren't
that
bringing
were
up
the
garbage
NFL.
products or garbage services, they would do this stuff and get paid, and they had nothing. They
and
put their name
wanted
on
to
it.
do it.
Sure.
Exactly. And especially as they're retiring, right? These were
even more
that
so,
was
yeah.
a thing that.
And
kind
those
of
were the most
happened.
famous ones, to tell you the truth. I mean, who's the rookies that are coming up from that? There was no, as you said, this is all got started.
Exactly.
God, look
so
at you,
so
man.
it kind of just transitioned.
Billy
It's like, oh,
Ash.
this worked. We should do it with athletes.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, amazing, man. All right, but here we are. We're at that section of the thing. We got to talk about your needs, man. Tell me what today's business is looking for now, and how could the people of the local BizCast, the viewers, any of it, what are you looking for? What can we help you with?
Listen, we're looking for just local support. We are a New Jersey-based business. We are a remote agency now. We did take this company remote during COVID, so we do have employees around the United States. But our home base is New Jersey. Both my business partner and I span New Jersey, so we're looking for some local support in terms of just honestly letting people know that we're there. If there anything that I've spoken, if you are doing any digital advertising, and there's anything that you think we can help with, we are here. Other than that, it would be employees, interns. We are constantly hiring and looking for new interns to help our team. But yeah, other than that, just general support.
You're at a
Appreciate
perfect
it.
time right now. I mean, especially those college kids coming home for summer looking for their internships and stuff like that. You start as an internship here. You're doing this, then you go back to school. They're becoming a part of your culture. They understand your business. They understand your culture. They understand how to do the job and the work. You graduate from college, you're teed up for today's business or another business. And I'm sure if one of your interns, from what it sounds like I'm hearing from you, one of your interns are like, I want to go do this on my own. You'd be like, you're proud as hell. Look at what we did. We set this person up for success because of what they learned.
There is very few things that get me as proud as going through my LinkedIn feed and watching whether it's even past employees and what they're doing nowadays. I just saw one of them the other day speaking in front of a conference with 150 people, and I was like,
Started with your internship program, man.
But that kid worked his butt off while he was an intern, and I saw it back then, and now I watch at it, and I'm like, and you're better than me.
Damn
You're
right.
killing it.
You can't wait until you have to white label him now, right?
Hey, and honestly, that's where we're at. We love the support. That's why we appreciate. We like to support each other, and that's all we could ever ask from anybody else.
Man, that is a beautiful story. I love it, man. Entrepreneur for day one. Billy Ash,
Thank
dude.
you so much.
Are you kidding me, dude? This was
Appreciate
awesome.
it.
Energy galore in this room right now. I don't know if you guys could feel it popping out of here in Montvale, New Jersey. But, man, Billy Ash, digital marketing agency, sports agency, full service digital agency, that's for sure. You can find them Today's Business. You can find them everywhere, obviously. You're going to find them on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I mean, you got it covered. You were the first person who had it covered.
Oh,
That is
Billy
absolutely perfect, man. That is it. My next guest is going to be joining me coming soon. That's actually going to be on Monday. And it is another local business owner, an entrepreneur. She's a wonderful woman. I have already had the pleasure and experience of trying out her new facility over here in Montvale, New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, Jenny Feliciano is going to be joining me, Perspire Sauna Studio over here in Montvale. I don't know if you've been there yet. It is pretty badass. You're talking about the place next door, but this one has Perspire, has the infrared and all that chrono. It was a very, very cool experience. Jenny, I'm very excited to have you on next week. Everyone here is looking forward to it as well. Again, if you're enjoying the Local BizCast, please go ahead and hit like, hit subscribe. Contact me, Instagram me. I love this stuff. I'd love to do what he was doing, trying to make my website crash. That's my next goal, is to get my website to crash. I don't think I'm going to have Kardashian doing that. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Billy Ash, Today's Business, really fantastic.
Thank you so much.
What an absolute pleasure, man.
It.
We'll take it easy, guys. We'll see you guys all soon.